someone who had just seen The Matrix for the first time. You gotta realize...
I'll be honest with you, though, because when I first saw The Matrix Reloaded, I thought it was good. I saw it in the theater. But then, like, watching it years later, it doesn't compare to the first movie, like, at all, nor does the third.
The first one is like, literally transcendental, and the person watching goes through Neo's journey. All of the frustration, concern, the betrayal from Cypher, and to cheapen that by extending the story without adding meaningfully to it is a crime. We wouldn't remember The Matrix better if 2 and 3 had never come out.
Look, again, I don't know if you realize, I'm not sure I'm disagreeing with you, right? I'm like, if the only option is 2 and 3 doesn't exist as they are now, the 2 and 3 as they are now, or like nothing at all, then I agree that probably maybe it's better that way. I'm just saying they could have taken a different path where they could have made like an even or just as transcendental a 2 and just as transcendental a 3, right? With the narrative structure that they had in mind.
Maybe they could have. They didn't. Instead, they stopped with the good name of Matrix.
Well, I mean, maybe. Look, you can... Yeah, sure. I mean, you can choose to, like, remember the good stuff without...
Oh, I do. When I watch The Matrix, I pretend that 2 and 3 never happened. It's a great movie. Very enjoyable. Worth a rewatch.
2 and 3 could have been so good. It's crazy how much they fucking fumbled that bag.
Yeah, but like, the reason 1 was so good, right, was just pure movie-making craft, right? Like, editing, like, there's no scene, no, like, 3-second, like, segment of the movie that's out of place, that doesn't belong, that doesn't play a role, right? Like, everything is just so tight. And when the movie ends, right, it just ends, right?
Nothing
the story is over. You have, like, a 5-second, like, a 3-second kiss, maybe. And, and then I guess there is that final scene in the phone booth and stuff. But there's no silly, like...
They knew what they were doing, and then someone offered them more money.
I don't think it was that. Like, I think they were trying different things in the second and third one, and I think they just weren't able to, like, either recreate what they did in the first one, or, like, the ideas they had, they just couldn't execute on, they didn't pan out, and stuff like that. It's hard. Like, have you seen what's that show they made, like, the one, like, Sense8 or whatever, right? Like, I feel like it's very similar, it starts off, like, there's a few episodes of it that's, like, really cool and well-made, and, like, the ideas kind of flow, and then they have no idea what to do with it next, right? It's not that they run out of ideas, they don't understand how to, like, execute. Yeah.
Hang on, just one second.
Sorry, just one other thing. The other thing also that they made well about was the book, right? With the nested one, what's it called? Cloud Atlas, right? It's a great book.
I think there's enough evidence now, in the years that's gone by, that the Wachowski brothers,
Sisters.
I'm sorry, I apologize for that. They just weren't. They had one good film in them, and the rest of them have. I mean, pretty much everything they've made since has been bad to awful. I mean, they haven't really had anything good since The Matrix. That they basically had one great movie in them, and I don't think they I'm not sure they could have made a good Matrix 2 and 3 because everything they proved. What's that?
You don't like Cloud Atlas?
I have not seen Cloud Atlas. I have heard both good and bad things about that.
Okay. I mean,
it's very long, but it's actually kind of a cool movie.
Yeah, it's a fun conceit, and the Wachowskis are experimental. Even though they get these big budget things, they are pretty experimental with the types of movies they make. And as a narrative structure, it's a weird one. I would not say that they, like, hit 10 for 10. There's some clear misses, but, like, it is a decent movie. It's worth a watch.
Have you guys seen, like Jupiter Ascending and Speed Racer and The Matrix?
I said Jupiter Ascending.
I have
think it's fun.
Yeah, I've seen Jupiter Ascending, too. It was like a really terrible, cheesy piece of shit, but it was kind of enjoyable to watch once.
They were like two bits. One, what's her face? Mila Kunis was good, and that was like a big up for her. Like that was a bigger budget for her. Channing Tatum was fun as like some dog breed of protector.
Right.
But the one role that I felt was worth it was Eddie Redmayne vamping it the fuck up as the space drama queen empire and he's
a good actor.
It was so good.
He's a really good actor. He was recently in a series on Peacock that I love. It's based on a book. What's that movie? Bruce Willis and Richard Gere. You guys got the Day of the Jackal. You guys saw the Day of the Jackal? Well, they did a series on it on Peacock where he plays the Jackal. And I was mesmerized by his performance in that show. It was really fantastic.
It's worth checking out the 1960s version because the way I got into it was like I created this the one that controls this planet because I was like dumb.
Right.
But then when I saw the series, I saw the first bit on playing, and then I was like, oh, that's cool. I'll go to the 1960s version. 1960s version is solid. That's like a really easy kind of a killer. And I don't think they grab the cold-bloodedness of that character.
The fight I think someone will make a lot of money in the future when they just make second remakeers and feel better. Well, they're not they're doing a reboot. Well, it could be by themselves because they feel they're confident, but they're not. And the characters have gone, and it's a great idea. It's just they just had a stupid idea for what the overarching plot of the show would be.
They did that a bit. They did that with Neil Patrick Harris.
How was that?
He was like the Agent Smith character. He was like, I think he played the therapist, and he has a new power.
That was in Resurrections.
Or Resurrections, right, whatever.
Yeah.
You should have told me the truth about why you were down.
It's funny because, like, part of the thing that made me pivotal in the real world wasn't there these people that, like, changed much in motivated effects. So Neil Patrick Harris was saying, oh, we saw what you did, we're like robots, we just copied you, and now I have it, you can't do it.
Sam, but they are doing a completely new maintenance now, though. It's written by a guy named Drew Goddard. He co-wrote The Cabin in the Woods with Josh Whedon, and he's writing and directing it, and there's even been some casting that I read about. I think they were actually, you all know that they wanted Will Smith for Neo instead of Keanu Reeves, and Will Smith turned it down. But I think there was actually talk of trying to get Will Smith to be in this newest version that they're doing. I think Will Smith ended up passing again, but it's actually coming along. It should be out in the next couple of years.
Did anybody see Francis Ford Coppola's latest flick? What was it called?
I know what you're talking about. I've heard nothing but bad things about it.
Megatropolis, yeah.
I've had it saved up.
It's going to go down as one of the biggest flops of all time. He spent like $120 million of his own money, and it only grossed like $6 or $7 million. Hey Sam, are you there?
Yeah.
Is there any chance that I could put in a good word for Clipper and have you unblock her? She, like me, would not. If you don't want her to speak to you anymore or anything, she whatever she did to piss you off, she would agree to stop and not do it again.
She went to my Facebook page and was like taking shit on my Facebook page and using it to insult me, which was like a weird thing to do. To try to like find me in real life and try to find dirt on me to insult me. Like that's a crazy thing to do, bro. So,
I agree.
And like Bill, I'll be honest with you, like I really didn't enjoy how I was treated in the P&R room when I asked Tom to take down the video and everyone was ganging up on me and being mean to me. And I like have a pretty big beef with all of you, but like I don't know, we've been chill lately, so like I don't care. But like just letting you know that like I haven't forgotten that. I thought that was like really not a cool interaction. I didn't say, hey Tom, fuck you. I said, hey, I would appreciate this because people are trying to dox me. Can you take the video down? And he was like, no. And I really think that.
Well, look, I will keep my word, and there will be nothing out of my mouth negative towards you. I won't have no problem with you, Sam. So I hope we can keep us on good terms.
Word. I feel you, dog.
I heard you got in a big fight with Venus today.
Yeah. Well, it was more just yeah, I guess so. I mean, the title of my room is Conversational Micro Insults because Venus likes to do that, and I don't have like a good canned response to how to handle someone doing that. Like the thing that Sully suggests I do is just have a thicker skin, but that doesn't feel totally satisfying to me.
It's hard, man. I know what you mean. That's why I try my best to stay out. Like, I've been on these apps for like 3 or 4 years now, and I don't debate or anything, but I just try to engage in the social stuff. I actually try my hardest not to fight with people because I couldn't do what you guys do. Fight with people all the time. It bothered me. I would prefer to get along with as many people as I could.
I think if you want to have thick skin, you basically have to have like a very advanced sense of humor, because a lot of people will drop out because they're not able to just let it brush off their shoulders and laugh it off. They take everything too seriously, and thus they shut down and no longer continue. They stop. But it's mostly because they take it so personally. They take the insults so personally. They're not able to essentially let it go, and just listen. I mean, it's I've been through the military process, and I've seen guys drop out that you would never think they're going to drop out because they're so tough, but mentally they just get so frustrated and anger, they ring the bell and say, I have to stop, I can't do this anymore. But it's really just an emotional inability to let it go.
I can get Bill to debate me. Hey Bill, I think comics are stupid.
You're wrong, Deepak.
Hey,
You're so wrong.
Yeah, debate me, bro.
I think I have been challenged to a debate on comics before, Deepak.
That might be one you have to take up, though. I mean, you probably win it, though. There's knowledge.
Jason Tone and I had a semi-debate the other day on a porn star's ass. And a couple of people told me that I did well enough that I got a gold star. So I'm proud of that. But it wasn't a real debate. We were just going back and forth. But he didn't know who this girl was, and she's basically like she won the AVN award 7 times in a row, in the 2010s for best ass. And he was saying that she didn't have a good ass, so I just kept hitting him with all these different awards that he had won for having the best ass. So it was pretty fun.
Is that Alexis, Texas?
That's correct, Deepak.
Yeah, baby.
It started
you're a connoisseur, Deepak.
It started because
Alexis, Texas.
I live next to the Speedway 500 track, and the strip clubs up here. When the Indy 500 comes, they try to get some semi-famous people to come and dance because there's all these crowds up here. So I was driving past one of the strip clubs last week, and I saw that they're going to have Alexis, Texas, for the Indy 500 this year, and then it devolved into a debate about her ass, and I think I brought the goods.
Deepak, I just want to say that I completely 100% believe that your atheism is intellectual.
But I want to say that if you are my friend and I know that you like me, you can insult me pretty intensely, and I think it's pretty funny. But I can tell when people like me. It's not hard to tell. So, if you like me, you can get away with a lot of insults from me. But
was that in context?
oh, before you came in the room, we're talking about having a thin skin and how to handle conversational micro insults and whether going to thick skin is good and blah 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 blah.
Wait, were people were arguing it's not good to have a thick skin?
Oh no, Sully thinks that having a thick skin is the proper way to handle conversational micro
Well,
insults.
to be clear, I don't think I used that phrase, but the phrase I would use is something similar, which is basically stop giving so much of a fuck or don't take it so seriously. I mean, sometimes obviously it's not like a critique where it's like, oh, you must be perfect and never get upset at people. It's just that like you try not to take it so seriously.
Why so serious?
Now, Bill, as far as like asses and porn go, there's something to be said for like your Mia Malkova or.
That's right.
Or you could go all the way to the other end, right? Like you have your. You of course you always have what's her name, Gianna Michael.
Yep.
You know, and then what's her name? Isn't there someone? Isn't there one like Maserati? Isn't that like on the far end of where?
I don't recognize that one, but Christina Rose had an amazing ass for a while.
I'm like,
She's getting older now. Yeah. But yeah, I know. Mia Malkova. She still looks pretty good. She's doing OnlyFans now.
No, Bill,
Go ahead.
was the debate about the quality of the ass, or was it about empirical facts about the ass?
Well, he was just claiming that it wasn't that good. Like, like, I was telling him that, she's known for having, like, for years, he had, like, the best ass, like, one of the best ass baby on earth. And he just wouldn't accept it. Or he just, and I was even sending him, pictures of her in her prime. He's like, not really. So I had to break out the facts. She literally has like an award-winning ass for like, an entire decade. Best ass.
See, Sam's problem is that he doesn't think there are any objective facts about which is the best ass or not. Right? They need no fact independent. But like Ethan, you might be able to persuade him otherwise. Oh, you gone.
See, I'm an ass man. I don't know why anybody would actually prefer huge tits to a great ass. I mean, the core is, the birthing factory, and that ass is tied to those hips, to those thighs. And, if you're going to essentially be a breast man and not an ass man, I would say you have a tendency to be a microaggressionist.
Well, I just realized, like, almost by definition, there cannot be any stance-independent facts about who has the best ass. See what I mean? Stance-independent.
No, I think, it's easy to determine great asses versus mediocre asses. I mean, I think there's definitely a mathematical equation to a woman's ass. I mean, it's 100%, what is it? Not Pareto's principle, Fibonacci sequence. It's a curve, so it resembles the universe, the spiral nebula.
Whoa, I'm a mod. Hey, Puck, what's your best advice for dealing with conversational micro-insults?
Enlarge them until they become macro insults. Pistols at dawn. That always worked.
My phone died. Did Ethan, with his objective knowledge of aesthetics, he tell you which ass was the correct ass, or did he was
just my joke. My joke is that almost by definition, there cannot be any stance-independent facts about what is the best ass. You get it? Stance-independent. Yeah.
Deepak is really proud of that one.
Yeah.
He's been like heckling the audience for laughs.
It combines my two favorite
not
aspects of
entertain?
atheism. Wait, it combines my two favorite aspects of atheism, like porn and moral anti-hero.
Also, I hate New York so much. It's unbelievable.
Are you in New York right now, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to come stop by? You want to hang?
Well, where are you? Are you near Midtown?
I'm in Brooklyn, but it's just the L train away. Just go to the Morgan stop and we can chill.
I get lost here.
Just hit the L train. I'm like right off the L train, and also I have a bed you can crash it for free if you need.
You're guiding all the assassins straight to you, Stan.
I mean, I'm in New York all the time, so we actually should hang out for sure. I have to get up for class at 9 a.m. tomorrow, though, so I think I'm going to go back.
Word.
But no, I'm over here all the time. Because there's a, like, for instance, there's a class at NYU that I'm sitting in on this semester, so I'm here, like, every week, you know.
Nice.
It's pretty dope. New York is a fun place.
I don't know, I had never been to Princeton's campus before, and I went the other day, and it was the most beautiful, like, idyllic, nice place to be, where you just, like, I felt smarter being there, and then you go to New York, and it's like everything is so loud and grimy, and, like, everything is so claustrophobic, and it kind of feels suffocating for me, like, I wouldn't want to live here long term, you know?
Have you been to Oxford, Ethan?
No, never. I mean, I think I visited, like, when I was a little kid and we were in England, but I have almost no recollection of it.
People tell me it's like the platonic ideal of, like, the perfect academic environment in terms of, like, beauty and smart people and stuff.
It really is. I mean, I don't know about the smart people part necessarily, but, well, I mean, but, like, yeah, it's beautiful.
Wait, have you been to Princeton, though, Deepak? Do you know what it's like?
Yes, Princeton comes close. But I like Oxford. I mean, partly, I guess, also because, like, it's older, right? But
Yeah, I mean, I just like Princeton better. I think because it's in the U.S. and we have air conditioning, and it's, like, close by to civilization.
I mean,
And obviously, Oxford is under Sharia law now.
Obviously.
So don't.
Yo, Ethan, I have a question for you. I value courage, loyalty, and curiosity in people. But I also am those things. And, like, what a coincidence that the things that I value are the things that I am. And, like, how do I have, like, a non-self-serving, like, I don't know, like, standard of values that I use to judge people that isn't just, like, totally self-serving? Or, like, is this inevitable?
I mean, I don't know. First, I think those things are things that basically everybody values to a certain extent, maybe to a greater extent, maybe to a lesser extent. But I think you can take comfort in the fact that basically everyone recognizes those as virtues, you know? Now, I don't know, like, obviously I think there's another tendency, besides just to value the attributes that you have more highly than the ones that you lack. There can be that bias. But I mean, there's also, like, a bias towards, like, self-flattery, you know? Where just, like, we exaggerate the extent to which we have desirable qualities. Especially if it becomes part of our identity box, that we have it to a greater extent than other people. But I mean, what? Sorry?
I'm more worried about the first one. So, like, if everyone is just valuing to a higher degree the traits that they have, like, I don't know, are we just, like, I don't know, is this inevitable? Is there a way to, like, escape this, like, consistent bias? Like, should we, like, reach consensus on the rank ordering of values so we don't have to have everyone having this, like, fight over these self-serving battles over which values are the more important ones or something?
I mean, I don't think there's an issue there. Like, if it's just like, look at the cardinal virtues, which, like, I think everyone can agree, basically, roughly, on what they are, with exceptions. And then basically, like, I guess there is, like, a habit that you have to cultivate, which is, like, to be self-critical and to recognize the things that you would like reflectively endorse as virtues that you're deficient in, and to actually like point that out and then think about how to improve along that dimension. So I think that's probably helpful in counteracting the bias. I mean, I also think it's just like surrounding yourself with people that have a virtue that you lack, I think is good at compensating for it too. And like for instance, like something that I don't have at all is like patience. I'm very impatient. And then when I see people that are very long suffering and very patient people, and people who can be like very conscientious and diligent, and like work on like things that I would think are boring or monotonous for long amounts of time, and like can put up with somebody, like basically can have self-control even when somebody's being obnoxious or dumb or whatever. Like just encountering that in person and having like a direct experience of it does, I think, make it more salient to me that I'm deficient in that, and that it's sort of important that I'm deficient in that.
I have very little conscientiousness, and surprise, I don't value that much as a virtue. But like clearly, it's like extremely important. But like I don't know. I don't judge other people for not being conscientious. I don't judge myself for not being conscientious. And like as a result, I'm not that conscientious, and I also like feel smug, and that I don't know. It makes me feel a little bit embarrassed that I'm doing that.
Yeah, but you're still young. You have years to improve yourself, and it's not stagnant. Your psychic or psychological development is just beginning. I mean, there's a whole chemical component to psychology, meaning if you do Shabbos and you do red wine, or you smoke some cannabis and you read all these books, the bigger your glossary or the more concepts you have, maybe the more conscientious you become, or, humble or awe of just other people and variety. Even microaggressions, where when somebody microaggresses, you're just like, wow, the world is so diverse. I've met another amazing, stupid person. It's unbelievable.
I mean, in terms of conscientiousness, like I think the thing, first is probably your biggest issue is you probably, do you have ADHD? Have you ever been diagnosed as having ADHD?
They're brutal.
And is it unmedicated?
It's medicated, but it's not enough.
So like it's like you've been taking Adderall for a long time or whatever, and you haven't titrated it?
I've been taking it for like 2 months now, and instead of using it to get shit done, I've been using it to like get better at Clubhouse debate. So
This Clubhouse got Addy. See what you're doing.
You don't want to waste. You don't want to waste this though.
Yeah.
Like
What?
When you first start doing Adderall, that's when you can actually start like establishing your habits, and the effect is only going to be like you're going to build a tolerance to it within like 2 years. And like the problem is that like people's perception that they're still getting a benefit lasts longer than like the measurable benefit that they get. But like the one thing that's really, really useful for is like if you can take the Adderall and you can just develop workout habits with it, and then get some inertia in those habits. And like using the Adderall to reinforce, like your first time using Adderall, using that to reinforce Clubhouse debate growing. Oh.
I know, it's terrible. It's horrible for my life. But, it's really fun. I don't think it's valueless what I'm doing out here. I'm making friends. I'm like sharpening my mind. But yeah, I shouldn't be.
Well, no, that's the thing. Is just like, look, you're gonna crash probably if you're taking Adderall. And are you extended release?
Dude, I've already gotten immune to it, and it's only been like 2 months.
There's no way. But
my system is still different.
Well, the other thing is you're probably not using it right. But like, do you take pill holidays? Like, is your hygiene good for it?
I don't take pill holidays, but my pleasure.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is if you take like a week off right now, and then you started using it again after taking a week off, you would be like, "Wow, this is like when I first started." When you took it again.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But no, like the thing you should do is just like do something else during the day when you have the Adderall, and don't take it every day. And basically do something else that's productive that like would be smart. And then basically you can just come on Clubhouse like when you crash.
Yeah, but then I won't be my most Adderall self. That will be my most intelligent, fast-speaking, clear-thinking self, and then I'll like lose my debates. It'll be terrible.
No, but you won't. If during the day you like read stuff and thought about stuff and just had a sharp mind, over time I think you're going to be way better off with respect to your Clubhouse debate mastery goals than if you just are like first order optimizing for Clubhouse debate.
Yeah.
You know, they've statistically proven that going to the gym and exercising is 10 times more effective in treating depression than SSRIs. So, with regards to Adderall and doping the mind for peak performance or optimization or learning ingestion, I would just say that, like, if you practice abstinence and you do a break and then you come back to it, but like the point is exercise and education go hand in hand. If you want to increase your ingestion or your IQ, I mean, there is this body consciousness aspect to intelligence, which allows for greater comprehension, for productivity, for creation. You know, if you've been to college and you've been through the rigor of class and essays and reading comprehension, all that stuff, I mean, exercise is the magic ingredient that makes your brain be that much faster in the same way that Adderall does it for you, because it's true, authentic dopamine versus this supplemental dopamine.
Yeah. My ADHD was much less bad when I was like younger and more active and more. But I mean, it's hard to say like what the causal story is. But like, I went to college and got good grades. But like then I had this like rich wife for like 11 years, and then I like didn't need to have any sort of conscientiousness, and a lot of the skills withered, and also I got less healthy. And then like I just feel like both of those have like added themselves to make me like way less conscientious.
Yeah, but this is the universe. This is the universe doing this to you, meaning that all these things were meant to happen to you. That there's not a speck of dust out of place. That this whole, situation that you're in is your journey of self-exploration or discovery.
Ethan, I don't know if you guys want to keep talking about this, but like, I wanted to talk to Ethan about like yesterday's conversation on the aesthetic stuff. But if you want to continue about this,
I want to say one last thing before I finish about the like hypocrisy and the self. I think just like me just being aware of it and noticing, hey, I am being self-serving in what values I value, and that like temperance is important, and all these like other virtues are important that I don't have, and I shouldn't be so smug. Just like being like humble and not being so smug will just get me a long way. Even though
I mean, I don't know. I think the thing though for conscientiousness, if that's the thing you want to cultivate more value in, is like just watching a great craftsman and looking at the end result, and then hearing them talk about their process, basically regardless of what it is, but especially if it's something that you can really appreciate the value of, every time I see that, it makes me jealous, that I'm not more conscientious like that person is.
Yeah. I'm not just talking about conscientiousness. Like, for example, I am very friendly, and if you need a place to crash, I'll let you crash, and I'll be very nice to you. But I won't think to get a person gifts when I'm like they're not around. I won't just like spontaneously be like, oh, Sully would love this, because like that's just like not one of the things I do, and like I don't value that I don't do that. And it's just like a whole bunch of a range of values or things that I don't do that I just don't value much. And there's a sense in which I want like to not be so. Oh, everyone is just so incurious and pussies, and they're disloyal and just feeling so arrogant about how everyone's worse than me. I'm like, yeah, fuck you, Sam. Like, you have so many things that you could be better at that you don't do. And I'm just trying to like figure out a way to just intelligently think about this. And I think just being humble and not being arrogant is probably just good, both for epistemic and also prudential reasons.
But I also say,
I think it, like, my point generalizes beyond this context of conscientiousness, which is just like surrounding yourself with people that excel in the virtues that you lack is, I think, creates a better appreciation for those in you, you know? And similarly, like, surrounding yourself with people that, like, are, like, worse than you with respect to the virtues that you have to some measure, I think does kind of make you more complacent.
Yeah, in terms of like your question as to whether or not you're putting your thumb on the scale and finding virtue in your natural proclivities, I'd say that you're maybe cynically characterizing what people are looking for in virtues. I think most things people characterize as virtues could be vices if reinterpreted. And like the point of the virtue is to give you a North Star, to direct your proclivities. If you happen to act in these certain ways, here's like the virtuous path for that. So it's not that you're just being self-serving. You're actually doing the moral job of saying, what do I do with the truth of what I am? Not what do I change myself into? How do I develop myself in a virtuous way?
Just in general, guys, do you think it's better to like sharpen your skills or like get rid of your weaknesses? Like, is it better to become like unbalanced and have like a small number of things you're really good at, or be like a sort of generalist? Just because it seems like in work, it seems good to be a specific person, but in virtue, I don't know, it seems not obvious to me.
I mean, mostly I say play to your strengths. I think that playing to your strengths is deferring to your natural state. Like, you can acknowledge like your own failures, things that you would prefer if you did other, and like you can direct yourself a bit there, but the thing you're directing is like the life force, the part that feels natural and good. You start there and you grow it in the right direction.
I mean, I think it's got to be like a middle way there, where it's like basically like you have to remedy your weaknesses to the extent that the weaknesses are pathological, you know, but to the extent that the weaknesses are just like functional and average but not exceptional, then like cultivate the strengths to the point where they're exceptional. You know, like if you're so, like for instance, take conscientiousness. Like, you don't need to work on becoming like an exceptionally conscientious person if you can get to functional conscientiousness, you know? But if you're at the dysfunctional, like super ADHD level, then it will basically cripple you in realizing basically any other virtue until you've solved that problem.
Yeah.
I don't know how much time you've spent studying the Sephiroth of Kabbalah, but I would say that those 10 Sephirotic traits of the divine are excellent starting points for establishing great emotional durability. Or 10 simple words or concepts, but to me they're invaluable, and they're very mystical.
Wait, so Ethan, is your view that I should take my weaknesses, get them to the point where they're just average, and then once I'm there, then just fully focus on my strengths? Is that the model of what you guys should be doing?
Yeah, I mean, basically, like, I think, like, you basically, with regards to weaknesses, like, you just have to plug holes in the ship, but you can just put Band-Aids on the holes, but you gotta make sure the ship doesn't sink. And then, basically, play to your strengths, as long as you got the ship afloat.
Yeah.
Or you could, like, leverage your strength to help you persist with the development of the weak areas. So, if, like one trait that I've been contemplating lately actually is forbearance, which I intend to like look into more and think about more. But this is one that's been coming to mind as something really valuable. And yeah, so I'm thinking about which other traits I have that can help me in my pursuit of forbearance.
I know in Marcus Aurelius' Meditations, he says we either bear or we forbear. So, I mean, if you want to bear, that's like an active decision to essentially maintain the concept or the thought, to live with it. But if you forbear, it's kind of like letting go. And it's not easy to let go of thoughts, especially with neurotic thinking or chronic thinking. But there's, methods to stop the chronic thinking. I mean, just going to the gym, it's unbelievable how much of a course correction that is for me in my personal life. Is after I get a workout in, my brain is operating at a much higher level of efficiency, activity, processing, action. It's unbelievable how you can manipulate the brain to manipulate actions.
So, Deepak, you wanted to ask Ethan something about aesthetics?
Yeah. Okay, I don't have much time left before like the kid bursts in and wants something, but like maybe like 5-10 minutes. So I was actually listening yesterday, right? I even took some notes about things I wanted to bring up, but I can't read my notes. Horrible handwriting. But like, so okay, like